Death is inevitable. Death is the last truth which every human being experiences. Death is the last reality which every human being goes through. So let's try to understand what significance death holds in the concept, in the philosophy of I want to be God rich. There have been many writers, philosophers, thinkers who have spoken about death in detail, in various forms, in various dimensions. So, my philosophy about death is no different, but I'm trying to present it to you in a different manner. So, death is inevitable. That's the truth. That is the last truth. Every human being, the last truth which a human being experiences or goes through is death. And death means end of everything. End of everything means end of this body, end of the mind, end of the spirit, right? End of ideas, end of the consciousness, end of the subconsciousness. Everything goes. A human being might leave behind the imprints of their ideas, their philosophies, or what the kind of good deeds or the bad deeds they have done. That is what they leave behind. But with a person, when death comes, the body goes, mind, ideas, consciousness, subconsciousness vanishes. So death brings an end to everything. It brings an end to the anger, it brings an end to the ego, it brings an end to everything. It brings an end to all kinds of good and bad virtues you carry. My idea and my philosophy to present death is just to make a human being think about being God rich. I am trying to relate the topic of death with I want to be God rich. That is what my idea, that is what my philosophy, that is what my view is. I am trying to present my idea, my philosophy, my views to you with respect to death, associating it with I want to be God rich. Generally, when a human being belonging to any religion dies, when death comes to any human being of any religion, normally we have seen that when people come to the death ceremony, they have one common thing to say about that human being. That's a common practice which you must have seen, which I also have seen. I am very unfortunate to have gone to quite a number of death ceremonies up till now. But that's the common, I would say, term which people use, and that is may his soul rest in heaven. So it's a common thing that when a human being dies, people say, the person, irrespective of the good deeds or bad deeds that person has done, some which are visible, some which are not visible, generally people have to say on a death of any person that may this person's soul rest in heaven. So the concept of heaven and hell comes when we are talking about death. Many religions also say a lot about heaven and hell. The Bible talks about heaven and hell. In Muslims, they talk about Jahannam and Jannah, that means heaven and hell exist. Similarly, you have a religion like Hinduism, where you have got heaven and hell termed as Swarg and Nark. So, the heaven and hell concept is there among human beings belonging to all religions. So, if you do, the concept is if you do good deeds, you will go to heaven. If you do bad deeds, you will go to hell. If you do a mix of them, you don't know. So it's a debatable topic, that does a human being goes to heaven or does a human being goes to hell? And you might have also have witnessed that when people think about their loved ones who have gone, who have left this world, people say, oh, my mother or my father or my sister, the loved ones who have gone, they will be sitting in heaven. So everyone wants to have their loved ones to be in heaven. No one will want them to be in hell. So death, heaven and hell is a common understanding which people from all religions have. So let me now bring my philosophy about heaven and hell with respect to death. I believe in God, I believe in my God, and I ask myself, I ask my soul this question: what after death? You too believe in your God, you live your life, you do good deeds, you do bad deeds. You also, as per your religion, ask yourself, what after death? What will happen after death? Okay, let's take hypothetical answers. Let me say for myself, or let me say in general, what kind of answers can come to your mind. I am going to heaven after death. I am going to meet my loved ones after death. I am going to surely meet my God, because though I have done some bad deeds, I also have done some good deeds. So my God will definitely, God is supposed to be kind, He is supposed to be a forgiver. He will forgive me for my sins, but He will definitely reward me for all the goods I have done. Some human beings will say, oh, I believe in God, I believe in my religion, I believe in my God, I respect all of it, but I do not know what is going to happen after death. If you ask an atheist who does not believe in God, for him this question is irrelevant. So there are some hypothetical answers which, some religious books might say, what's like I told you, heaven and hell exists in most prominent religions, but from a human being perspective, just think about what will happen after death, where we are going to go. All our loved ones, our ancestors, our grandfathers, where they have gone. They have gone to heaven, they have gone to hell. To be very honest, I am still a fool who is learning. But my idea to raise this question, what after death, is to make a human being think of being God rich to some extent. Try to incorporate God richness in their life. Friends, we all have to go from this world. Everyone will go. Death will come to some of us in various ways. Some of us might die a natural death if we are lucky. Some of us might die due to an accident. Some of us might suffer due to the hands of disease or anything and then die. But death is going to come to us. So, if we as human beings truly believe in death, truly believe in God, truly believe in good, and also we understand bad, we will try to be God rich. Because if we believe in God, if we believe in our God as per our religion, we know that all our deeds, good or bad, will be held accountable. I mean, is there any rocket science in that? Isn't that an emotional and a rational connect from your heart to your God? If you love yourself, if you love your loved ones, if you love your God, if you love your life, if you realize that you are going to die, irrespective of your daily life circumstances, there might be turmoil in your life. But the real test of a human being to survive in this world is to live with some kind of God richness. Some kind of God richness we must live, because the future is not very far. Death is not very far. Time is passing like this, my friend, like a whisker, life will go by. Think, you don't have to get stressed out about death, but realizing that you will be going, you will try to be God rich as much as you can,